over the visiting Houston Texans. My name is Madelyn Burke, alongside Super Bowl champion Shaun O'Hara, Super Bowl champion Amani, Toomer. Amani, can you believe we're in the presence of 60 Cent right here?
60 Cent, I love it.
60 Cent right here. This guy took a break from dropping bars to join us to recap Giants-Texans. What a win, coming back from the bye. You know, a lot of expectations going up against this Texans run defense that ranks last in the league. But Saquon Barkley, a season-high 152 yards on the ground. He had 100 yards on the ground by the third quarter.
Yeah, this is a great day to run the football, and as I tuck my scarf in here because we're about to be blown away by the wind here, you know, I feel like Scarlett O'Hara up here on the set. I think when you look at today's offense, like coming into the game, it was all right, we know we're going to have to pound the rock, run the football. But 35 carries, that's an O-lineman's dream. And for Saquon, look, coming off the bye week, I know he felt fresh. That was clearly the point of emphasis. And I love the way the Giants offensively started the game. They came out in no huddle, up-tempo. Here's his numbers right here. You can see 4.3 yards per carry, over 150 yards for just the fourth time in his career. And I think when you look at the mindset that the Giants had, both Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka clearly said, we are going to play physical football up front. They had the heavy package. They brought in Nick Gates. They had basically 3 offensive linemen coming in as their heavy package as extra tight ends. And I think that was kind of like the mindset, and we saw that kind of come to fruition throughout the day.
Yeah, every time you come off a bye week, it's almost like a reset. You almost shake up the snow globe all over again. And for the fact that they came out and executed early, that was very impressive to me. And also the fact that Saquon kept rolling. You know, after last game in Seattle, you know, a big disappointment. The momentum kind of was stopped. To come back and have such a dominant first quarter, to me, that shows you what this team is made of. And today, the hard games are the ones to win, are the ones that you're supposed to win. And the fact that they came out and won the game that they're supposed to tells you a lot about this Giants team.
Executed early, a lot of credit to the run game as well, but the passing game got going as well. Let's send it down to the field where Paul Dottino is with Darius Slayton.
So, Darius, your 54-yard touchdown catch at the beginning of the third quarter is your second longest grab of your career, and that was a huge spark for this offense. You guys needed it, made it 14-3.
Yeah, man, you know, that's what I try to do. I just try to come out here and make plays, help our team win, and obviously I was able to give us a little jump right there, and, you know, obviously, you know, it was a big play in the game. I'm just glad I was able to make it.
Houston led the league with missed tackles, and you made Petrie miss on that quick spin move before you jolted down the sideline. You must have been aware that you had pay dirt.
Yeah, a little bit. Once I got up out of there, I got down the sideline, and Hudson made a great block, actually. And once he got that for me, I was able to take it home.
Finally, how great has Daniel Jones been? 6 straight games without an interception.
Outstanding, man. He's a heck of a quarterback, and I'm just blessed to play with him, for real.
Darius Slayton, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
No problem.
That sound from Darius Slayton brought to you by Ford. 54-yard reception for a touchdown, longest from a Giant since 2017. That's an incredible touchdown for Slayton, who it took a while to get going this season, Amani.
It did, and there's such an opportunity for him to be that #1 receiver for this team and to stick around for a long time. The fact that he has an opportunity to kind of set himself apart because of his speed and because of the ability that he has, if he can just get his head on straight and keep on going down this road, he only had 4 opportunities and took advantage of 3 of them. That is very good statistics, and that tells the quarterback and the play caller, you know what? You need to give me more opportunities.
Yeah, no doubt. He's earned that, and really since the Green Bay Packers game in London, I mean, you've seen his performance accelerate, you've seen his targets accelerate, and I think those big plays, that's exactly why you drafted him. Those are things we saw him do his rookie year, and for whatever reasons, injuries, you know, the offense not having the opportunities, he hasn't had a chance to make those plays. But that was such a big play. The Giants needed that offensive spark, if you will, because everything was a long play drive, and you know, I feel like all season long it's been 12-play drive, 13-play drive, 14-play drive. They haven't had that quick strike. So it was a great play. You know, Slayton kind of bobbled the ball, but it ended up working out in his favor. One thing I will say about that play, Saquon Barkley came over from the right side to come over and pick up that blitzer that enabled Daniel Jones to get that ball off. So a great concerted effort up front to protect DJ, and a great job by Darius Slayton after the catch.
Yeah, the offense got the job done, putting 24 points on the board, but the defense was really pivotal. Dane Belton, the rookie, got his first career interception. He's down on the field with our Paul Dottino. Let's send it down.
This team only had 1 interception all season, but you come down with a big one here in the fourth quarter, just as the Texans was trying to stay in the game. Talk about the play if you're good.
Yeah, it was just, I had to do my job, you know, nothing more. And I feel like we had one job to do, stop them in the red zone. You know, they got down there, so we just had to bow up and do what we do as a Giants defense. So for me, it wasn't nothing crazy, just doing my job and being able to make a play for this defense.
It was a big deal not to have Xavier McKinney. We know he's going to be out for a while, but you're one of the guys who stepped up.
Yeah, it's always the next man mentality. You know, we all play together, we study together, so whoever's in, we have full trust in them, and the guys helped me out a lot today. Just being able to play alongside them was great, and just, you know, being able to fill that role was big for me and for this team.
You mentioned the red zone. They were 1 for 5 in the red zone. That's a great stat for your defense.
Oh, yeah, that's what we pride ourselves on. You know, it's once they get down there, like you said, you got to ball up and make a play, you know, be men. So, you know, for us, it's a big emphasis, and we were able to get it done today.
How difficult is Pierce to stop? He's one hell of a running back.
Oh, he definitely is. He runs strong, really good back. And, you know, that was our game plan coming in to stop him. So, you know, he's a good back, good player, and it only helped us as a defense.
Dane Belton, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That sound from Dane Belton is brought to you by Ford as we take a look at his numbers this afternoon against the Texans. First career interception, as we mentioned, 2 solo tackles, 2 assists, 4 combined, 1 pass defense for the rookie against the Houston Texans as the Giants get the win 24-16 and improve to 7-2. But guests of our post-game show received a gift certificate to Ben & Jack's located on 44th Street in Manhattan. From the celebrated porterhouse to finer seafood, Ben & Jack's will surpass your expectations of what a steakhouse should be. After the break, we're going to hear from Giants head coach Brian Daboll. That and so much more as Giants post-game live presented by NFL All Day continues after this. Hey Giants fans, join us back at MetLife Stadium next Sunday, November 20th to watch the Giants take on the Detroit Lions. Limited tickets are available. Visit giants.com/tickets to secure your seat today. Great energy here at MetLife Stadium today as the Giants came away with a 24-16 win over the visiting Houston Texans. Shaun O'Hara, Amani, Toomer, Madelyn Burke here breaking this one down. Guys, we talked about how great the offense looked in this game, but they really couldn't have done it without the performance of this defense, especially in the first quarter, not allowing a single first down, starting strong. Dexter Lawrence, a big part of this, especially against the run, Shaun.
Yeah, Dexter was phenomenal, and he's having a Pro Bowl season. I talked to Wink Martindale a couple weeks ago, and he said when I came here, I said, if Leo Williams and Dexter Lawrence aren't Pro Bowls, then we're not doing our jobs. And right on cue, we're talking about the defense, and Carl Banks shows right up. So Giants championships have been built on great defenses. And coming into this game, look, for the Giants defense with no Xavier McKinney, as you pointed out, it's all right, we've got to stop the run game. We've got to stop Dameon Pierce. How do we do that? In order to do that, your defensive tackles have to play well. Leonard Williams led the team in tackles, 9 tackles. As an offense, anytime we wanted to run the football, Madelyn, we had to control the defensive tackles. If we want outside zone, we got to get movement on those guys. So I think for Leonard and for Dexter, the way that they attacked this offense, the way that they got after the quarterback as well, and you just showed Dexter's stats. The one stat that doesn't show up on there, he created a holding penalty as well. So his impact is being felt. And I know defensively as a unit, Amani, like they knew coming into this game, our main goal is we've got to slow down this run game. We've got to tackle this guy because he was a lot to handle.
Oh, their back was unbelievable. That guy Dameon Pierce has the balance of a ballerina. I mean, the guy does not lose. You know, he's never off balance, making plays. And it's not like the Houston Texans offensive line is spectacular. He's just doing it on his own. It reminds me a lot of like how Walter Payton used to do it, where the Bears were terrible, but they had one great running back.
Yeah.
And for the defense to hold Houston only have 3 of 10 on third down, that tells you a lot about the way in which they executed and got Houston off the field.
I thought the start of the game was so key. Yeah, so the Texans start out, they get the opening possession, 3 and out, they got a sack, they got pressure. The first 3 offensive possessions for the Texans were 3 and out. So the defense coming off of a bye, you always wonder how is everybody going to respond early on. It's going to take a while to kind of get back into the game speed, and it didn't take them long at all. And I thought that set a precedent for the entire game.
And what you want to do with a team that's coming back, that's only won 1 game, you don't want to give them confidence.
Right.
And so when you come out on defense and you pound them and get them off the field early, you let them know to not today, maybe next week, not today. And that's kind of, they fought back towards the end, Houston, but I think the Giants really controlled this game from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, absolutely, especially against the run. I mean, earlier this week, defensive coordinator Wink Martindale talked about how the rookie Dameon Pierce might be the angriest runner in this league. They knew they had to lock him down. He did rip off a 44-yard gain while Dexter Lawrence was taking a little breather. They're like, all right, let's throw Big Dex back in there because this man knows how to get it stopped. All right, we're going to send it down to the podium now because Giants head coach Brian Daboll is addressing the media.
Whose is this? Oh, okay. How's everybody doing? No response?
How you doing?
So good to get another win. Hard-fought game. Thought we did a lot of things well. Some things, obviously, to clean up on, like there always is. But, you know, today's my youngest daughter's birthday. So I was asking her what she wanted for a present the other day. And she said a win. So give me a football with my name on it, Dad. So that's pressure, you know, more than anything else. So I want to wish her a happy birthday. And good to get a win. You guys played hard, played physical, made some timely turnovers, came out in the second half, had an opening drive touchdown, stalled a couple times in the fringe. You know, got hit on some bigger plays in the second half, but, you know, overall, you know, good team win. And you're ready to play Detroit.
Obviously, your defense, consecutive drives in the red zone, you come over turnovers.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that and the games that Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams had on the inside?
Yeah, you know, two good players for us, two good leaders. I think, I'm mistaken, Leo got that first one out in there, in the pile there. And then Belton made a good play after they hit a couple big plays. You know, red zone defense, we've been playing it fairly well this year. This was in the fringe area, high red zone, good plays. You know, everything starts up front, whether it's the defensive line or the offensive line, and Dexter and Leo, along with some other guys that have been playing in there, have been doing a good job for us. We're going to continue to need that.
What's her name? Is she getting a game ball?
Her name is Avery, and yeah, I'll figure something out to make sure she, you know, gets that. Yeah.
I assume Saquon was fresh after the bye.
Yeah, I mean, you tell me. You looked it to me. No, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, what do you have? 35 for 152. The thing I think with him is, takes a lot of shots. So, you know, we try to do the best job we can, the medical staff, the sports science of practicing him the right way. And, you know, this week he was fresh. So he was at a really good week of practice. He was, you know, we were handing the ball at the 20 and he's running down to the 80, or to the end zone, 80 yards, and then coming back and doing it again. So I thought that, you know, the stuff that he did during the week carried over. Obviously, he's having a good season for us. He had a good day.
His slide at the end, what did you think of him sliding to stay in bounds short of the first down?
Yeah. You know, we would have liked to get the first down, but, you know, we had a problem there in Jacksonville. So I think he was making sure no matter what, he was going to stay in bounds and let the clock go. So, yeah. Good game for him. No, that's okay.
How much at the end of the day, I know you always want to improve the mistakes, but how much at the end of the day are you just, you know, happy to pull out a win no matter how it is? How you perform? No, you're always happy. It beats the alternative. It's hard to win in this league. I mean, there's a lot of good coaches, a lot of good teams, and, you know, like I said earlier in the week, if you know, play well, you have a chance. It doesn't guarantee you anything. If you do the things that cause you to lose, you're probably going to lose no matter what team you are, who you play, where you play, what time you play. So our job is just to focus on things that we can do each drive, each play, each day, each practice, not get too far ahead of, you know, of ourselves in terms of where the results are, just stay in the moment.
What did you see from Dane, and how much did you have to change, not having Xavier in there? Like, did you change Julian's responsibilities at all, or Dane just...
No, I mean, those guys are interchangeable, but Dane's smart. That's why we drafted him. We thought he was a good player, and he's very intelligent. So, you know, you're always going to miss, you know, your captains, your really good players like X is. But I thought throughout the week, Dane was practicing well, was ready to go, and, you know, we have no choice. That's what we expect.
Did he get hurt? Someone said he went into the X-ray room.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Brian, when you sit a veteran like Kenny, do you say something to the player, or do players understand that?
No, I think Mike addressed it with him. and we went with Isaiah the second half.
Has it just not worked with Kenny? I think there was the thought he'd come back from the injury, provide a little bit of a boost.
I mean, it's after one game. You never know what can happen week to week. Go out there and try to have a good week of practice and take it day by day.
How much of that was based off the drop that, the one towards the end of the first half?
What, the Isaiah playing?
Him not playing?
Yeah, no, we just made a decision. We just made a decision to play Isaiah. It's as simple as that.
Brian,
And I thought Isaiah did a good job, being here for a couple days, coming in, making a couple good plays, knowing what to do, being where he's supposed to be. Credit to him for the short amount of time he was here. So I'm glad we have him.
What's it like formulating a conservative game plan, maybe to protect your team from its weaknesses?
I wouldn't use that word. I would just use, we try to do what we think we can do, which was run the ball for 46 times. I think Jordan asked me, is it as simple as just running the ball with Saquon Barkley? The answer is no, because they do a good job. They've made some runs, but each week we just do, Pat, what we think we need to do for that particular game. If it's 60 passes, it's 60 passes. I mean, that's what we do as a coaching staff. That's what we'll always do. I wouldn't give it a label. I would just say we try to do the best job we can to formulate a plan and make sure the players execute it.
We just kind of chuckled when I mentioned that question the other day, almost like, it almost seemed like, hey, yeah, we are going to run the ball. Like, that's our advantage here. How much was that actually the case?
Well, look, I think that we've done some good things in the running game. I think Bobby Johnson and Tony and Bish and DeAndre do a great job of sitting down during the week and talking it over with Mike, and players understand what we want to do. And Saquon, again, he had 36 touches today. Is that going to happen every week? I don't know, but that we wanted to get him going and get our line going and try to win the line of scrimmage. And Daniel had a 153 rating. Is that right? So he was efficient.
How difficult of a throw was that he made to Slayton on the touchdown?
Yeah, the guy was right in his face. Stayed in the pocket, and then Slay did a great job. Again, testament to Slay. We've always talked about that earlier in the, what's going to happen in the preseason. Are you guys playing him too much? Are you trying to showcase him? Like, we've had confidence in him. He's had to earn it, and he's had to fight through some tough times. I'd say earning it, but he's done a really good job for us. Call it these last, I don't know, however many games of performing when his number's called, and that's the type of guys we want.
A guy like Cage from the practice squad and get a TD and an onside recovery. I mean, is that a bonus?
He did his job. Again, like whether it's him, Isaiah, guys that we haven't on the roster, that's our job as a coaching staff, is to get these players ready, to find guys that that are out there like Joe and his staff do, and try to get them in here and see if they can help us. And if they can, great. And if they can't, look for some more guys. But there's certainly a lot of things that everybody, start with me, can do better. But it's good to get a win today.
Anything else? All right.
Go ahead.
Were you pleased with how Adoree handled the punt return?
Yeah, we had a plan. We're going to use both of those guys based on situation, Richie and Adoree. Again, they did a good job during the week. It's hard when you have a couple bad plays that everybody sees. Richie doesn't want to fumble the ball, and he does a good job of catching punts for us. And I have confidence in Richie. But again, we had to make a decision for this week, what we thought was best, and that's what we went with. You guys good? Let's have a great night.
That sound from head coach Brian Daboll, brought to you by Ford. We're going to break that down after the break, that and much more. But first, the New York Giants official mobile app is your destination for all things New York Giants. The updated mobile app includes the best Giants highlights, news, videos, photos, and podcasts, available for free for Apple and Android phones and tablets. We've got much more coming up on the program as we continue to break down the Giants' 24-16 win over the Houston Texans. We'll be right back after this. Time now for our scoring drive of the game presented by HCL Tech, supercharging progress, the official digital transformation partner of the New York Football Giants. For the scoring drive of the game, we take you to the third quarter, 12 plays, 74 yards, 5:45 off the clock, ended with a 2-yard rushing touchdown from Saquon Barkley. Saquon would end his day with 152 yards and a touchdown on the ground, adding in another 1 reception, 1 receiving yard in the air. That's the scoring drive of the game presented by HCL Tech. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. Guys, before the break, we heard from head coach Brian Daboll. One of the things that really stood out to me about this team is we've seen them time and time again passing the ball around, right? Getting a lot of different receivers involved. We saw a few guys today, Cager, Isaiah Hodgins, who are new, just called up from the practice squad, just signed to the team, getting involved in significant ways as a receiver. When you just come onto the roster and immediately get into the end zone, for example, in Cager's case, how do you kind of assimilate?
It's a very strange situation, because I always felt comfortable with the players, because with all the players you played around all through training camp, and that kind of gives you some sort of comfort. But if you're coming right off the street, you kind of got to get in where you fit in, and it would be a very traumatic thing. And to come in and immediately prove yourself to the rest of the people in the locker room that you're a player that's going to help this team is a big boost for your career or your stint with the team. Because everybody knows that you come in and they respect you, because all this odds are stacked against you, and you still come out and have a big performance today. That's saying a lot about those players that are just now coming on the roster.
I think one of the biggest things we've seen this season from this offense is the red zone production, and that showed up today. The touchdown throw to Cager, as you mentioned, down in the red zone, using Saquon Barkley almost as a decoy in that sense, and then getting Daniel Jones on the run, on the move the pocket passes. That's such a big part of that red zone, because you're trying to create space for the throwing lane and for the receivers. So to see all of that play out today was big. I think when you look at the offensive system, I mentioned the fact that they brought in, Nick Gates a number of times, reported eligible. They brought in some extra packages. The first play of the game was ride 34 wham. Nick Gates came in motion, and they whammed the nose guard.
Wham.
And I have not seen them run that play all season long, but it was something that they clearly put in. They've been practicing over the bye week, and I think when you watch this offense, they keep you guessing, they keep you on your heels. And I think for a first-time offense coordinator in Mike Kafka, he's done a wonderful job of finding ways to create these plays. The gadget plays, look, there's not a lot of razzle-dazzle, but they're finding ways to create different opportunities for guys. And you mentioned, some of these guys have been on the team for just a couple weeks. So to get that instant production, you have to give credit to the coaches.
You got to give credit to the coaches, absolutely. And for Mike Kafka to be able to have an offense that's fluid enough and simple enough for people to come off of, come from everywhere, off the bench, off the street, and be able to contribute immediately. That's not only a tribute to the coaching, but a tribute to the fact that they have made a system that's easy for players and easy on players, but when you look at it from the defensive point of view, it's very multiple. There's a lot of things going on. So it's very hard to do. Mike Kafka, I think they have an offensive coordinator of the year, a coordinator for the year. He's definitely got to be one. With the players that he has and the production that he's getting out of these guys, it's unbelievable.
Well,
it really
and
is.
not just the simplicity, but the belief in the players from the coaches saying, you know what, I trust you to execute this. Starts from the coaching staff, also starts up front in the trenches, the offensive line. Paul Dottino is now in the locker room with Andrew Thomas. Let's send it down.
So, Andrew, you knew coming in that Houston had a subpar rushing defense, and my goodness, you guys took advantage of it. It looked like you just kept grinding it and grinding it into the ground.
You'll be surprised. A lot of people see their record, and they don't think they're physical up front, but they have some talented guys on that D-line. They have some schemes where they're moving and had a lot of tackle for losses, things like that. We capitalized when we could, but we got to clean it up if we want to be where we want to go.
Saquon Barkley, 35 carries, career high, 152 yards, his 4th highest total ever. As an O-line, how proud are you about this guy to be able to do what he does behind you?
No, it feels great to block for somebody as talented as he is. If we give him an opportunity, he can make guys miss and be explosive. Like I said, said before, we got to continue to get better because there's yards that we left out there. He's an explosive player, so like I said, we give him the opportunity, he's going to make plays.
The 2 out of 2 in the red zone, how critical was that for your offense?
I was good in the red zone, but I would say that we got to clean up the fringe area. We had, different things, especially starting with me, just, being better on my assignments and making sure we execute down there so we can lead to more points.
Once again, it looked like you guys were a second-half team today. You've been doing it that way all season long. Why does that continue to be a pattern?
I honestly don't know. We pride ourselves on trying to start fast. We've been working on it during the week. Coach Daboll, reminds us every day, but we just keep fighting, for 60 minutes, and that's just how it ends up.
7-2, how's that sound?
Feels great.
Andrew Thomas, thanks for your time.
No problem.
Andrew, real quick.
That sound from Andrew Thomas is brought to you by Ford. Lots more coming up here on the program as we continue to break down. The Giants win 7-2 record on the season coming off of the bye.
Yeah.
NFL All Day is the newest way to enjoy the NFL. Collect officially licensed moments featuring top pilots and use them to compete in challenges as you follow the action each week. Head to NFLAllDay.com today. Much more coming up on the program. Giants Postgame Live brought to you by NFL All Day continues after this quick timeout. We'll be right back. The Giants celebrated salute to service, and one of the moments of celebration was welcoming veteran Robert Engel and surprising him with a service dog, Bonnie, the service dog gifted to veteran Robert Engel, a native of New York who served in the United States Army. What a special moment for this veteran. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. The Giants coming off a win over the Houston Texans. Let's send it down to Kayvon Thibodeaux.
I don't know what, as far as timing, I couldn't really tell you why it's the second half and not the first or whatever, situation is. But what I can tell you is that we're resilient. We're a team that we got a lot of players with chips on their shoulders. We got a lot of players that's willing to fight with their backs against the wall. And that's what we just come to do every day. We kind of bring that energy. Once we start really playing that complementary football, we're going to, it's going to look great.
2 big stats defensive coordinators always want to see is holding the other team out on third down and red zone. Once again, you guys dominated both of those stats today. What was the key?
Wink, man. I told Wink after the game, just the way he called it up, it was beautiful. Just seeing a true mastermind in his, field. I mean, it was amazing. And just being on the field, knowing, how he was calling, knowing how we're going to go into it. I mean, Wink going to be the one getting paid. Let's put it like that.
Pierce had that one big run in the first half, but other than that, you seemed to contain him, and then he kept chopping away. How difficult was it to make sure you had him contained so that they couldn't get back in the game?
Football is never difficult. It's never difficult. It's always about the players and who studied the most, who's put in the most time to what's going to happen. So he's a great back. You can't take that from him. He's going to keep, being a great back throughout his whole career. But I think for us, it's just continue to hone in on our fundamentals, continue to stick to the game plan and know, what we got to do up front.
That sound from Kayvon Thibodeaux brought to you by Ford. As we take a look at his numbers today, we've seen a lot of growth in Kayvon's game, the rookie, over the course of the beginning of this season, Shaun.
Well, I think first and foremost for him right now, he's finally healthy. I mean, suffering that knee injury earlier on this season kind of slowed down his progress. But one of the things you're seeing from him now, and I saw it a number of times today, was that get off that coming out of Oregon, everybody talked about his first step. We were comparing him to Osi Umenyiora because Osi he wouldn't go on the hut, he would go on the huh. That H, and so you're seeing that initial first step and the get off on the football. So I think Kayvon is making some big plays. It's definitely helping, what Leonard Williams is doing inside and Dexter Lawrence. But I also think he's getting some one-on-one opportunities because Wink Martindale continues to blitz. One of the unsung heroes today was Jason Pinnock. He had a great game, obviously filling in, getting some more playing time with no Xavier McKinney. So I think all along, you look at this defense, the job that they did today against the NFL's leading rusher after contact. They did a great job handling all of that, all of the new wrinkles. Julian Love with the green dot, handling all the play calling duties, the coverage duties, and they didn't miss a beat at all, and they created 2 turnovers in the red zone. So hats off to them. And yes, Wink Martindale, I think he deserves a raise.
So does Kayvon, sounds like. So does Kayvon. It's great to have a coach like that who you believe in, too, as a player, and you're just excited about it, your coach, as your coach is about you.
Absolutely. It's a two-way street of accountability and two-way street of trust. And the fact that the coach trusts him and he trusts the coach, it really helps a lot in terms of how you can play faster, the little edge, a little bit of extra motivation that you have It just all of that stuff plays in role because everybody out here is good. It's the little things that separates the good players from the great players, and that little bit of confidence could put him over the top, and he is. Just like you're saying, Shaun, he is playing a lot better and a lot more impact.
I also want to give a shout out to the defensive line coach, Andre Patterson.
Yes.
He's been coaching in the NFL a long time. I was with him in Cleveland early on in my career. He's a phenomenal coach. He and Brian Cox have done a great job with this group.
An excellent job indeed. And as Amani, you mentioned too, it's who prepares more, right?
It's
who prepares more, like Kayvon said. All right, we got much more to come here on the show. But first, the Giants official connected TV streaming app, Giants TV, brings original video content and game highlights on demand and direct to Big Blue fans. Giants TV is free on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, and in the Giants mobile app.
How does it feel, Dex? 7-2 defense, consecutive turnovers in the red zone. Talk about all that.
Yeah, that's big. You know, just to keep fighting and not giving up, even though they're making big plays like that to get there. You know, it just shows the character of us and on the defense and our willingness just to keep fighting for each other.
You and Leo seem to really dominate up front today. Talk about the success you had up there.
You know, our goals each game is, you know, just have everybody on our back kind of thing. Us set the tone and, you know, us take control of the defense. And, you know, so, you know, games like that is what, you know, what our goals are each week. And, you know, we're just going to keep trying to, you know, lead this defense to wins.
When you went out there today, was stopping Pierce the #1 goal?
Of course. You know, just watching film, how hard he runs, how fearless he runs, and, you know, just his ability to break tackles and keep going. His balance is amazing. So, you know, our goal all week was to get 11 guys to him, bring him down, and don't let him get started.
That sound from Dexter Lawrence brought to you by Ford as we took a look at Sexy Dexy in his Sunday best right there. I appreciate the look, the clean look. You dress well, you play well. That tracks, right, Shaun?
Yeah. Feel sharp, look sharp, play sharp.
Hit that little earring on the side, though, right?
Yeah, got a little drip.
Yeah. a little drip. Career high 5 quarterback hits. Dex is on a trajectory right now. He's already tied his career high with 4 sacks on the season. We're about halfway through. What is the limit for Dexter Lawrence?
Well, I think Dexter is playing at an all-time high right now, and you can tell the game has kind of slowed down for him. But he's not just playing with power. He's always had power since he came in the league. He was strong, he was physical. Now you're seeing the quickness and the athleticism that people talked about when he was coming out of college. And it was one of the reasons why he was, you know, a first-round draft pick, 16th overall. I think for Dexter, this system with Wink Martindale has really kind of opened him up. It's allowed him to be more of a penetrator. He's been allowed to be more impactful. And I think also having Leonard Williams on the other side, they've been a nice 1-2 punch. And for Leonard, a monster game today, 9 tackles. He forced the fumble down here in the red zone that Jalen Smith ended up scooping up. So they've been very opportunistic. They're playing well together. So I think we got to get a nickname for them, LL, Cool J, or something like that. Leonard and Leo.
Yeah.
You know.
I
Big Cat's getting it done.
Big Cat, yeah. I think when you know, I think when Dexter had an opportunity to be the sole focus of the defense early on, with the injuries to the front line, he got an opportunity to kind of step out. And I think ever since ever since that opportunity in the beginning of the year, he's really kind of stepped out and been the dominant player that he was always supposed to. He's always been a good player, but this year he's been out with, I don't know if it's Wink Martindale, I don't know if it's what it is, but you know, he is really impressive this year. The fact that he's putting so much pressure on quarterbacks from the inside, it's something that you don't ordinarily see from an inside rusher.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, too, have an iconic friendship. So let's send it down to his buddy, Leonard Williams, who's in the locker room with Paul Dottino.
All right, so now you were more and more weeks removed from the knee injury. It looks like you've hit your stride. Can you feel it coming back, and how much more upside is there? You were dominant today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I came out of the brace today. I still wore like some tape and stuff like that to keep it a little locked in place, but overall it's been feeling good. I feel like I've been getting back into a rhythm and, you know, been able to make some plays when I need to.
At this point, do you think your run defense or your pass rush has come back quicker?
I think run defense in general always is the thing that comes back a little quicker. Pass rush is a little more timing, and I think that takes a little bit longer to come back.
Now, you knew Pierce was going to run the ball a whole bunch today, so there was no secret about that.
Yeah,
and he was dangerous, but for the most part, you guys contained him.
Yeah, I think for the most part we contained him. I think there was like one big run that he had. Besides that, I think we did a really good job of containing him. And then, you know, in the red zone, we were able to get it off of him, get the ball back to the offense, stopped them from scoring points. And I think all day we just did a good job of, you know, playing red zone defense and like not letting them in the end zone, even after they had some pretty good drives.
That sound from Leonard Williams, brought to you by Ford, as we take a look at his numbers today. 5 tackles, 4 assists, half a sack, and 1 forced fumble, as Shaun, you mentioned earlier in the show. Great game for the big cat, Leonard Williams, as the Giants come away with a win over the Texans and improve to 7-2. We got a lot more coming up on the show, but first, make sure you follow the Giants on social media. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and YouTube for all the latest team coverage, breaking news, and content. We got more to come on the program. After the break, we're going to hear from Giants quarterback Daniel Jones. That and more as Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day, continues after this. Hey Giants fans, check out the Coach Daboll Show presented by Stop & Shop. We'll look back on today's game and look ahead at next week's matchup. It's the Coach Daboll Show, airing every week on MSG Networks and the Giants social media platforms. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. The Giants come away with a win, improving to 7-2. Let's send it down to the quarterback, Daniel Jones, at the podium.
You and Slayton getting that connection going again today. Take us through that play with the touchdown.
Yeah, it was just a great play by him, really. He lost the guy on the route, and they brought pressure there, so just tried to get it to him, and he did the rest. So a heck of a play by him.
Like hands it off 42 times.
What's that?
What's it like to turn around and hand it off 42 times?
Yeah, it was good, fun to watch. I think the guys up front did a great job controlling the line of scrimmage all game. I thought we had a good plan in the run game coming in, and those guys did a good job executing. Saquon obviously did a great job running it. Breida did a great job when he got in there too.
How would you describe the way you played as the highest quarterback rating of your career?
Well, I mean, I think it helps when we run the ball that well and that effectively. So just, you know, try to convert in the opportunities I had, and thought guys made great plays. You talked about the Slayton one and a couple other, you know, key plays for us.
You said that Slayton made a great play on that, but you got crunched on that throw to Slayton. Did you feel it coming right there and know you were getting rid of it just in time, or did?
Yeah, I felt the pressure. They brought a blitz and twisted up front, and so, you know, great job by him losing the guy on the route, and then he did the rest.
Did you throw it to where you thought Slayton was going to be, or did you see Darius when he came out of his route?
I saw him on that one, yeah.
How eager was Saquon to keep running the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think he loves those opportunities. He loves the opportunity to take over a game and play, you know, as well as he did. So, yeah, he played great all day.
On the Slayton touchdown, did you even see him running down the sideline?
I did, yeah. I mean, I got up, I saw him, yeah.
Daniel, I know before the bye you talked about Andrew Thomas and what he's meant to this offensive line. For someone who's watched him his entire career, when he goes out every week, it seems like the consistency at his level. I mean, how much does that help the entire offense kind of build around? I mean, it seems like it's almost one guy and then you can do whatever you want to do in the other 10 spots.
Yeah, I mean, he's played tremendously the whole year, super consistent at a critical position on offense. So, yeah, tremendous amount of credit to him with how he's played all year. He's been big time for us.
That sound from Daniel Jones, brought to you by Ford. Taking a look at his numbers from this afternoon: 197 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and a career-high 153.3 passer rating. Stats you love to see from your quarterback, Amani.
He definitely loves to see that, and he's improving. And one of the things that he's really improving on is keeping the ball, not having interceptions, not fumbling the ball in the pocket. Those are the things that are really changing his game. And when a quarterback is not giving the ball to the other team, you give your whole team an opportunity to win, not giving your defense short fields. And that's one of the major things that he's done and improving his game from this year to last.
I think it's been refreshing to see Daniel Jones play this way, and you just showed those numbers, and they should have been even better. There's a couple of drops out there, so that's not on him. I think when you look at Daniel Jones, the way he's played this season, he has done more with less than any other quarterback in the NFL. You look at what he's done, the amount of games that he has helped win, the amount of fourth quarter drives that he's led them back on. This team, today was the first day that they've not trailed in a game. So every single week, he's had to find a way to will this team back into the game and get a drive and get them to get back in the game and take the lead. And there is not another quarterback in the NFL that is doing as much as Daniel Jones is with as little as he is given at the receiver position, and that's due to a number of different factors, injuries, rotations, whatever the case may be. Every week he's had a different leading receiver. And coming into this game, Darius Slayton was his leading receiver with 235 yards on the season. So when you just kind of look at that as a whole, I think it's remarkable what Daniel Jones has done, how productive he's been, and of course the ultimate product is the wins, and that's what he's delivered.
And the ball security, 6 straight games without an interception for Daniel Jones. We got more to come as we continue to break down this one on Giants Postgame Live. Brought to you by NFL All Day, the newest way to enjoy the NFL. Collect officially licensed moments featuring top highlights. Use them to compete in challenges as you follow the action each week. Head to NFLAllDay.com today. We'll be back with more after this. Stay with us. Giants fans, check out the Eli Manning Show presented by Panini Prism Trading Cards. All you have to do is subscribe to the Giants YouTube channel to catch all of the new shows. It's the Eli Manning Show this Thursday, November 17th. A brand new episode. Eli and Shaun got in the studio. Shaun O'Hara right here is now known as 60 Cent after they dropped bars with Fabio. This is a solid song, and I think at some point we have to get the MetLife DJ to be playing this at the game. You guys do well.
No, I mean, listen, we clearly got outfitted. We got some chains on us, so we were iced out. Eli was wearing a Celine sweatshirt. He thought it was Celine Dion. It's clearly not. It's a clothing line. But, yes, we had a blast. We were a little bit out of our element, but we had a lot of fun. Fabio was awesome. His new hit, I think, just dropped one on three.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like an offensive lineman. His whole thing is you got to run into him, then run into him before you run into me. So that's kind of like how the offensive line think. Like before you get to our quarterback, you got to run into us. So I have now christened Fabio as an honorary offensive lineman. But yeah, it's a fun episode. It was great to hear Eli rap. He does have some rhythm.
Shaun, were you able to keep that sweater?
No.
It looked kind of good, man.
It's actually called the Fuzzy Wuzzy, and it was out of mohair. It was really hot.
It was hot. It would be great for today. It's freezing right now.
It was so hot wearing that in the studio. It brought a whole new meaning to the big drip.
I mean, honestly, if you haven't heard the song yet, you need to check it out.
I haven't heard it.
It's an incredible one. I think Amani Toomer is the only one on the internet who has not heard this song yet.
It's on the interweb?
Strong to quite strong. Of course, check it out on the Giants YouTube channel. That, along with every other episode of the Eli Manning Show. Mwah, chef's kiss every week.
Yes, got him like,
shh. Next week's game, we're going to be back here. We're going to be dressed a lot warmer to do this show next week because the Giants are taking on the Detroit Lions Sunday, November 20th at 1:00 p.m. The Lions coming off an interesting game today as well.
Yeah, big win against the Bears.
31-30. Yeah, 3-6.
Big comeback at the end.
Yeah, don't sleep on these Lions.
The hard knock team right there.
Yeah.
What are your early?
Dan Campbell, man. He was a Giant, drafted Giant.
You played with Dan.
Played with Dan for a couple years. Love to see him doing well. I just hope he doesn't do well next week.
Right. Well, this is a tough offense. DeAndre Swift obviously coming back. Jamal Williams, a running back. One of the things I'm going to be watching, though, is second overall pick Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes.
He's been
Michigan
a stud,
guy.
your boy. Yeah, big Michigan guy, Wolverine.
I play with his dad.
Wow. How old are you?
That's how old Amani is. Played with his dad. No, it'll be a good one. And great homestand. They've got 2 of the next 3 games at home, of course, broken up by that Thanksgiving game against the Dallas Cowboys. Playing at home, it's got to be great. We saw a lot of Giants fans out here today.
Yeah, it was great to see. It was like one of the first times there was traffic coming in here. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was great. Well, and I also, the NFL and the Giants did a great job with the Salute to Service initiative they did today. We had a great flyover.
Absolutely.
A lot of Marines here. And also, on a final note, happy birthday to Avery Daboll.
Yes.
Right, make sure Daddy brings home that ball for you.
Avery Daboll getting the game ball for Amani, Toomer, and Shaun O'Hara. I'm Madelyn Burke. We leave you with some sights and sounds from today's Salute to Service game. The Giants had a lot of celebrations for the armed services. Let's take a look.